Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully everybody can hear me on this impromptu little live for Monday night, taking the place of Donnie Greens. If you're joining me from over there, got a couple in the green room, Brittany and Daniel and Ian's Peter in there as well, that we're going to bring on live with me. And I'm going to go ahead and add both of them now
Hello.
and figure out how to do. There we go. We got three people on here now.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, thanks.
Congratulations, by the way. Live,
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
tell
you.
you. Getting all them subscriptions.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just things are finally moving, and then had a lot of stress earlier today about the farmers market and people not quite understanding what they were, but they got the higher up. It sounded like USDA was like, no, they are different, and I was like, oh my God, yes, thank you.
Thank you,
So
USDA, coming in.
yeah,
Somebody that
yeah,
knows what they're doing.
exactly. So the guy was nice. It's just he was going off of his understanding of reading it, and now he got it cleared up. So that's good.
Well, I
Okay.
think it's largely an education thing, right? They
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they are. This is a relatively new product. It's been around since the 90s, but the mass exposure is only starting to happen now. So
Right.
um, you're going to deal with these people that don't know what they are, and they're just trying to do their job. So you got to, work with them.
Next time that comes up, he's going to be able to say, "Well, actually, I know exactly what there are. They're different sprouts, and let me tell you what I
Exactly.
learned."
Exactly. You're too far over.
I was trying to finish our spreadsheet.
Yeah, work.
Get off of work and then go do some more work.
Always working, always working.
Mm-hmm.
We
With
just
you,
got done building garden beds, so well, 5 of them. We got many more to go. So putting wood chips out and everything else. I don't know if you guys seen our little picture of wood chips we got delivered today.
Ah.
Oh yeah, we she put that on the YouTube community tab. It was a
Oh,
big
cool.
pile. It took up our whole driveway, like 8 feet tall. So
Nice.
yeah, now you got to move it all and put it in place.
we had when our neighbor had a bunch of tree limbs and
Can you
branches.
lean forward? You're right.
Just let me hold it
Okay,
down.
here. Sorry.
Neighbor had a tree company out, cut a bunch of stuff, and they ran a bunch of stuff through the chipper. They said, "Do you want some mulch?" And we're like, "Sure." So they pulled the trailer up in the alley and dumped a big old pile in our driveway. And we used that for months. It was finally gone.
Yeah,
We're also keeping one eye on the
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 weather.
local weather stream because all the tornadoes going through the area.
Yes, be safe.
We will.
Looks like it's gonna miss us.
You guys are in
Maybe.
the northern part of that storm, I believe, from what
It's
I was
The
going
seeing
north of
yesterday. Oh,
us.
it's going north of you.
well,
Yeah.
there's
It
a
just.
line moving across, so everybody's getting something. As far as the actual tornadoes, there have been some to the north and a bunch to the south, like in the Austin area. Um, but it looks like there's not going to be any major rotation. Um, at this point, it looks like there's not going to be major rotation in the part of the storm that comes through us.
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
Yeah,
Whoa,
them.
that
that is a big pile of
that is a
mulch.
big pile of
Yeah,
mulch.
they're like they want to give that stuff away. They're looking to give that stuff away, finding places to put it. So
Yeah, tornadoes terrify me. I grew up in South Africa and lived in California for many years. We have earthquakes, mudslides, and all kind of other weather, but never been in under tornado warning.
We actually were in a tornado the day after Christmas in 2015. Same town, a different house, and we had some damage to our house, but at the end of our street, 5 houses down, they were like
It sawed off
it
half of
was
it,
like
half of their house,
the
and
entire top of the house was gone on one street, like uh, the
over
opposite side of the alley from that house. It was just a bare
a slab.
slab left, except for a bathroom in the middle, and there were
Oh
people
my
in there, and they
God.
were able to climb out the top of it.
So
So
let me ask you guys this, because coming from the other side of the world, people always talk about tornadoes, and they're like, "Yeah, you just came back from the U.S. What's the deal with that?" And the way we see it over there is like Tornado Alley, the famous Tornado Alley.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody lives there. Tornadoes come through, ruin their homes and whatever, and they come back and rebuild. Like, why not live somewhere else where there's no tornadoes?
Well, that's what us in Tornado Alley think about people who are in the hurricane areas, like New Orleans.
Yep.
Like, it's guaranteed to flood, but they go back for the same reason. I guess it's home.
Okay,
You know.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Why
other
be scared?
disasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if where we are is exactly considered Tornado
Yes,
Alley.
it is.
Is it?
It is. It's kind of shifted south a little bit. It used to be more Kansas kind of area.
But yes,
It's
we are. We
kinda
are
shifted, yeah.
Tornado Alley.
And the funny thing is, sure enough, they had some tornadoes because of climate change. At least that's what they're blaming it on in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
Within the last 2 years, and people did not know what to do. I mean, I live in the Mojave Desert, and we got the dirt devils. It's like a mini tornado comes through and just tears everything up and throws all your garbage around. But there's no real damage. It's just kind of like fun to watch it. And,
It's kind of the same deal. You have just a really big difference between hot air and cold air, and then there's the moisture. And when that instability gets something to trigger it, it'll pop off the storms to get that rotation. So
have you guys had to make any tweaks to your grow rooms with the changing weather?
It's been pretty consistent. We're thinking about getting we had some pretty good advice to consider getting a vent fan.
Yes.
So we're looking into ways to vent some of the stale air out of there, but with the dehumidifier and
I still think so I'll put it this way. Some days we come down, and I can't really tell a rhyme or reason. Some days we come down and there's no smell whatsoever. Other days it just kind of smells like wet soil and, all the wonderful things blossoming in the ecosystem in there, which for indoor, if you're not used to that, you're like, whoa. So I think, also right now it's not too cold, not too hot. So the AC and the heater aren't really coming on. So I think that's part of it. It's just kind of sitting there. So I would be interested to see how it would be when it gets warmer and the AC is running more. But we are still thinking, very much considering getting some kind of window vent fan just to keep, like, if it has a thermostat, kick that on. And
I think that's good advice.
Yeah, I had some somebody give us a few really good pointers the other day. So
yes, excellent pointers. Mike does consultations. I don't know if you know that, but he was just had a bunch of great information and help for us. Yes, and Oz.
And Oz, yes.
Yes. The big difference that we were talking about today is that with the HVAC running, the air gets out of that room mostly under the double doors. So if it's blowing in through the vent, it's going to get out through the doors back into the house and then pulled up eventually into the return. And then that's going to get circulated through. But if we have a window vent fan running, hopefully it can pull that air out of the room and not have some of that stuff cycling back into the house.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, definitely. I got a question real quick, Mike, on your picture there. So we were describing our room in our consultation, and it actually looks very similar to yours. It looks long, like ours.
Yep.
It looks like you have rows of racks on the wall, but then maybe two right in the middle, and then you have an aisle. Is that right?
That's, very much, yeah.
And you can fit that all comfortably in there, and it's not too crowded?
It's not too crowded, no. You'll have the one section where, going from the formal dining room, the ex-formal dining room to the living room, formal living room, where it kind of jets out a little bit. In that area, it gets a little tight, but nothing that's hindering to do anything.
Cool. Have y'all found any other good resources for getting racks besides Amazon? Because you have to pay like $40 every time.
Do you have a Home Depot?
We do, but it's not the tall rack. The 84.
We just do the 72s. We don't do 84s.
Oh, okay. Well, that would save us about $40.
Yeah. 72, you're not going to get them for the height that you need and everything in there. If you put them on wheels, you'll get them up a little higher for you. Really don't need 84s in my opinion.
Yeah, let me take myself off mute here for a second. My opinion on this is it depends on, like, if you're getting a capacity and you want to maximize your space before moving on and getting a new space and being able to upgrade, and you have the height to be able to go higher, then yeah, you could definitely add shelves and get taller racks. But keep in mind, you're going to have to get on a ladder or step stool of some kind to access those upper racks.
Yep.
And they're not always going to be in your view. So what I like about keeping it at that lower level is that you can still see everything. And so when you walk into your grow room, if one tray happens to be a little dry and it needs a little bit of water, you can see that right away and take care of it.
Yeah.
If it's out of your view and it's up too high and you neglect that tray, you might come back a little bit too late and you're going to be throwing it away.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I don't even use that top row except for some storage.
Yeah.
For that reason, I don't want to cart around it,
But yeah, so Lowe's and Home Depot, I lucked out when I was first starting up. I already had 4 racks, but I wanted to get a couple more. And I stopped in at a Lowe's and they had them on clearance. So I just bought them right then and there. And I got them for $79 a piece, 6 shelf units. But typically I'm seeing them between $120 and $150 at a Lowe's or a Home Depot. And I think that's a good price for them.
Yep. That's roughly what we're looking at right now, about $130 here locally.
Cool. Yeah.
Do they come with wheels, the ones you get, or you
you got to add the wheels.
Yeah, the wheel kits are like $15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found those on Amazon because I got a smaller shelf from Home Depot just for like holding our seeds and stuff. So I didn't need to buy the big shebang thing. But yeah, I was able to get the screw-in kind for way cheap on Amazon. So.
But yeah, there's plenty of sources. You can go on Global Industrial. You can order from Amazon. You can order from Uline direct. The problem with Uline is, 100% the shipping.
Yep.
That'll sneak up on you. You'll place your order and be all happy you saved all this money, and you'll get over $100 shipping bill.
Yeah. Uline is very famous for that.
We also have like the Harbor Freight and the Northern Tool stuff that you look at those and see if they're.
And I just use the chrome coated shelving. I don't spend the extra money for the pure stainless steel. I don't think it's worth it.
We do the black ones.
We do the black ones.
Yeah, and that's the black coated ones. Yeah. I got mostly black coated ones. I got the one right behind me right now. The poles are chrome, and the shelves are the black coated because that's what we had. So you mix and match and save money as you can.
Yeah, if you need a few extra shelves or a few extra poles, you can order those from Webstron or Uline. Like I said, I had 4 in storage, and I pulled everything out and realized I was short 1 pole, so I just ordered a pole from Uline, and then I was able to set up the rack.
So I also want to report that we are now almost at like 7 for or around day 7 for our new sunflower seeds that we got from Johnny's. Night and day. These seed holes are popping off so easy, like just a little brush compared to the other ones. We're like
super dense.
They're super dense.
Really healthy, barely any yellow in there, all same height. So
really happy.
It's a big difference.
Where were you getting them before?
True Leaf.
Oh yeah. And True Leaf has. That's one thing True Leaf has terrible is sunflowers.
And first started, we actually had some pretty decent ones, but then they just went way down.
They said it was the same lot, and when I called them, well, it's tested 80%, 85% germination. We haven't problems with mold or nothing like that, but This is just. I don't know what good, better, best is, but this is the best the best batches that we've ever had.
Kyle says he's getting some shelves at Sam's Club for 6 tiers for $114.98.
114 6 tier. Is that the 84-inch?
Is that the Kyle? Is that the 84 or the 72-inch? He's in the chat, so
I can't. Oh,
I
we
was
don't
just.
have the chat open.
Oh, I was. Yeah, it's either or.
How?
I was just getting
Okay.
the what you call it, the ones, the 84, because that's what Donnie's videos were showing at first. We were just like, don't
There's a thunder.
There's a thunder. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. My wife would never be able to see or reach anything that high. She has a struggle with the top shelves of the 72 now. You all got to think about ease of use for you and what you're going to use that height for. You know.
True.
It'd be great to put a 6th level on there and use that space, but it's just not practical.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely.
And then I use the top because we still have room from ceiling, so I use the top and I use it for storage right now for trays and miscellaneous stuff and like that. No lights, obviously, but.
Right.
So I want to jump in real quick. Like I'm doing 5 racks for the automated system just on the 1 rack right now, but I use all 6 levels because that bottom shelf that usually people would have a reservoir on, because my reservoir is removed and like plumbed out to the side, I'm able to still get another 4 trays on there. Yeah. So when I was in my old space, in my sister's basement, I was only able to do 4 racks. So when my business expanded and I needed more space, I had to go to 7. So I ended up fitting another shelf and like shimming everything a little bit closer together. And it worked out fine for most varieties because they grow a lot shorter. But, you know, things like wheatgrass and peas were obviously a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get 7 shelves on 1 rack, then you're adding 8 trays, where most people would have to add another rack and be using half a rack just for those 8 trays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if your height allows it and your environment is staying stable, or you can add another humidifier if humidity is a problem, or you can add an air conditioner, then absolutely get as many shelves as you can on 1 rack.
Yeah.
But I think 7 is probably the limit, unless you're going to introduce some kind of ladder system or.
Well, I mean, we could put our peas have never been a problem, so maybe if the consistent ones that are not a problem child, put those at the top to where those have done good regardless. So maybe we could run the peas up high and then do different varieties below where we can see it better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One option anyway.
I mean, peas I think are growing anything in any climate, and any speckled peas anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a matter of getting too tall and getting burned by the lights and things like wheatgrass. Yeah.
Right.
But if you have the 84s, I reckon you could do 7 on those, especially if you're doing short varieties like broccoli, and you have a whole shelf of broccoli, a whole shelf of spicy mix, a whole shelf of amaranth. You can get those real close together.
Right.
And then your other things, your sunflowers don't get that tall, but you're going to want to put them on the bottom like Donnie recommends to avoid the shells falling into anything else.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I keep mine on there.
Yeah, sunflowers on the bottom, buckwheat on the bottom, cilantro on the bottoms, all that stuff that has seed hulls on it.
Okay, so you just mentioned buckwheat, and that reminded me of something that came up with me. One of my customers, South African lady, her daughter used to actually babysit my nephews. They've been good friends of the family for a while, but she's a health nut, and she reaches out to her gurus wherever they are in the world, because the South Africans tend to move about. And she was looking for a microgreen that would be sweet for her grandchild that she could feed them, because they typically get a lot of cress and broccoli, spicy mix, radish, that kind of thing in their weekly order. They order a pound every week. And the grandchild tried the microgreens, and that spicy taste got in their mouth and they couldn't stand it. So any case, she was looking for some sweeter microgreens, and so I suggested maybe sunflower and pea, definitely corn. Corn
Yeah,
was one of
popcorn.
the ones she was concerned about because of the GMO corn and all that kind of stuff. So I said it's all organic corn grown organically, non-GMO. But then she reached out to her friends and gurus all over the world, and they said the one microgreen to stay away from was buckwheat. And I said, can you give me some more information on that? Like, what is the reason for that? So I'm curious if you guys have heard any negative feedback on buckwheat and why that would be something you would want to stay away from.
I've heard nothing bad about it. People try it; they love it. It's got like a sweet, sour undertone. Very good for pork dishes. Pork dishes are mixed in with our. We put it in our farmer salad as well.
Okay.
People seem to love it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the word buckwheat from popular culture, the TV character, and that's my only experience with it. I have 50
what I keep
pounds of it
hearing.
down in the basement, but I haven't even attempted to grow it yet.
Buckwheat has
Hold
a
on,
chemical.
okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Oz is making a special appearance, everybody.
Buckwheat does have a chemical compound that in large quantities can be harmful. It can cause some indigestion, stomach upset, things like that. It's a problem, but like you're looking at like consuming 3 and 4 ounces of buckwheat before that would affect you.
Okay.
So it would take a lot of buckwheat to even have a problem like that. But
So
some people are more sensitive to it.
when
Pyrene.
microgreens can have concentration of up to 40 times nutrient density, is that something you should be concerned about when regular buckwheat in small or larger quantities can be problematic?
40 times more nutritious. Is that going to be? No. She says no. That's not an issue.
Okay.
She's my nutrition expert, so.
I did research on that.
This one's saying that it's in the mature green
And
buckwheat
in
plants.
the young.
Oh, in the shoots. Oh, okay.
But it's
Not
again,
in the
it's
greens.
large quantities, and it's
Phagopyrin?
phagopyrin, whatever that is.
Phagopyrin. It sounds like a new medicine you'll see commercials for on TV or something.
Yeah. Or like
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Consult your doctor first before taking phagopyrin.
Yeah, but no, I haven't heard anything on that. And she said she does research on everything we do before we decide to do it and everything else, and had found no reason for that.
No, yeah, I don't think she had a very strong concern. And she said when she got the advice back, she's like, I'm not sure why they're saying this. So, just good to know,
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody grown melon microgreens?
No, but we were just talking about that.
I would love to. That is one I haven't done yet. And the reports people have posted on the support group make it sound like it might be one that's worth growing.
Somebody else said, or sweet, somebody at our farmer's market this last weekend said they asked if we had it or tried it. They said it tasted like halfway between cantaloupe and cucumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said it sounds like
a lot. Yeah.
Bath and Body Works lotion fragrance or something, but Kyle, you've had it?
Kyle, have you had the melon microgreens at all? Eaten them? Grown them? Yes, he has. And I'm assuming he likes them, since he's eating them the way it sounds.
They look kind of the same as sunflower as far as the like
thickness.
they look thick and crunchy.
Mm.
It's one I have. Melon microgreens is something we have on our back burner to grow, but I don't know when we'll get to it. But
The only issue I can foresee with it is the price of the seed being more expensive.
yes,
Yeah,
that's why
they're-
it's on the back burner.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, since we're talking about different seed varieties. So, most of us, we start off with just a few, like we started out with 4, and we just recently added 2 new things to our stuff. When did y'all start feeling like, okay, now we can start really getting some extra ones and incorporating more varieties without being too overwhelmed?
We went pretty fast in that, but we got the girls down really good on the first 5 that we started. And then that's when we felt comfortable to start adding cilantros and amaranth and beets and stuff like that to get some color, because we wanted color instead of everything green.
Yeah.
So we wanted to add some color to it. So we probably were, probably around that 5 to 6 month range. Again, that's kind of like where we became profitable, started making money in the business. So you start turning some of that money back over into other products. Until then, we kind of just stayed with the basics.
Gotcha.
Jens, when did you start branching out?
So I keep going on and off of mute because I'm cooking here and I don't want to put too much interruption in. But when I started out, I think my situation was a little bit different than other people. Like, I had some financial investments. I didn't really have to worry about income. I had a good place to live and all that kind of stuff. So I tried to stay there as long as I possibly could, like Donnie recommends. So I was staying with my sister, not because I had to, but because I was trying to save money and be able to put that back into the business.
Sure.
And so I was there for almost a year, and that saved me a ton of money on rent, personally and for the business. And I was able to purchase additional equipment. I also had a lot of equipment initially. So when I first decided to order seeds, to make a long story short, I decided to order about a pound of any variety I was interested in just to see if I could grow it, because I already had, a seedling starting experience. I wasn't growing microgreens to sell them, but, I knew how to grow plants and I had a lot of equipment already. So I put a lot of money in on seeds and I bought about 20 different varieties. And this is a bit of a learning experience for other people, maybe, because a lot of the stuff wasn't profitable. For me personally, especially at the price point that I got it at, because I wasn't buying bulk.
Mm-hmm.
People were curious about it, but it was very hard to like dial in and figure out, okay, people are going to buy this stuff. I can sell it. That's going to be profitable. I'm not going to the market and just, seeing what people are interested in buying. These are things that are actually going to be able to support a business. Right. So I kind of dialed it back as time went on and started growing, instead of 4 varieties of peas, just 1 or 2 a week. And instead of doing blackout with all of them, I would, do whatever I had orders for. I would do spicy salad mix, 3 types of radish. So daikon, the purple rainbow radish, and the famous China rose. Mm-hmm. And then sunflowers. And that's what I would recommend to people, is like, don't do any more than 6 varieties. Start yourself out with the basics: pea, sunflower, some type of mix, whether it's spicy or otherwise, radish, and maybe broccoli, because people are going to ask for that. And then start venturing into those other ones. But it's going to take you time to figure out how to grow cilantro. It's going to take you time how to figure out to grow basil. And a lot of these other crops. I mean, things like mung beans, for instance. You're growing a ton of other microgreens and you're comfortable with the harvest date, and you plant them and they grow faster than anything else you've ever grown before, and you miss the harvest date, and now you've got an unsellable product. So
you don't have any experience with that, do you?
Yeah, well, I took it to market once. I was able to sell some off to a chef under dire circumstances. When my brother passed, I had a chef that said he would take everything that he had. So that was the only reason I sold it that day, not because he wanted it, because he was doing me a favor. But yeah, I have probably 30 plus varieties of seed in my stable right now. That's and right. I'm selling probably 7 or 8 varieties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll always have the people that come up to you and say, hey, if you grow this, I'll buy it. Okay, they may be the only person that's going to buy it. So you got to weigh that option.
With cilantro, I ended up with 100 pounds of cilantro, and now slowly but surely I'm developing cilantro customers. I got a little too ambitious, and so I had one customer let me get bulk pricing and order this seed. And you don't want to be sitting on that stuff till it gets old. You still want to have good germination rates.
Right.
It's funny you use cilantro as an example there.
We've had about 3 different people come up to us and ask specifically about it. Like, they really want it. Not chefs, but like people like at farmers markets.
Cilantro was very popular at the farmers markets for us. It is not an easy grow though. So to get that down and to grow it, and it's a long grow.
Quick
You know,
question.
you're 21 to 28 days on that.
Wow.
So there's like low bolt and leisure splits. Splits. Okay.
Yep.
So I feel like there's several varieties out there because I haven't purchased any spreadsheets or done calculations of the profitability of each individual variety, and that's something that's on the list of things to do because obviously if you want to run a good business, you need to know how much money you're actually making. And
Spreadsheets are important for that.
yeah, for that reason, I would say things like amaranth and beets to me were a crop that I was growing because people wanted them, but I wasn't making any money, like maybe even growing them at a loss. And so that might be something you need to have to attract attention, but don't spend a ton of money on it. You know, buy 1 pound of amaranth. That's going to last you all market season.
Right.
Yeah, start out with the pound, find out if you can grow it correctly, and then if it's going to sell, and then you jump up to the 5 pounds and beyond.
Cilantro seeds are small, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're small and they're light. Highly recommend the splits and the leisure splits because you don't want to be sitting there splitting seed yourself. Some people like it with the seed on the plant itself, but I think if you get customers that are requesting that, then grow that specifically for them because you're going to want to probably have no seed holes on it for the majority of your customers.
Gotcha.
Going back to growing something because people say they want it, and then they end up being the only ones. And then you talked about cilantro. One of the stories that Donnie tells about why he doesn't like selling to restaurants is he had a chef will tell him, well, yeah, if you grow cilantro, everybody in this town will buy it from you. And cilantro brought it back to that same guy who told him that, and he didn't even want it. I'm good. We did.
Yeah, in 3 weeks it takes to grow cilantro. The chef can change his mind.
Exactly.
3 weeks. Yikes.
Yeah, minimum.
We had somebody reach out to us on Facebook saying that she's a chef. She's got a business to where she does. She'll do a new menu every week, and she'll deliver meals out to people that buy them. And she's interested in meeting up and incorporating our products into her recipes. So that was cool too.
Yeah, most chefs here anyway change for the seasons. You know, they'll do a spring menu, a summer menu, a winter menu.
Summer menu.
So they're always changing stuff around.
The mung bean. I don't have any. We don't have any experience with mung beans.
I only heard about that from I think David one time.
Yeah, we do fava beans.
Fava beans. Oh, do you have a nice Chianti with it too?
It goes great in soups. Yeah, so I don't have much experience with mung beans at all, but fava beans, really like them.
Are they a short harvest?
They're a 14-day. You know, they're kind of on a 14-day, 10 to 14. You can push it at 10, but we kind of let them try to go to 14 just for yield. But you can get them in 10 days and harvest them, no problem.
What do those end up tasting like?
I think they taste like a cross between a sunflower and a sweet pea.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a hardy stem. You know, it holds up good. We used to put it in our farmer salad, but when we went to grocery stores, it just started bruising within a few days when it's in that packaging with everything else in it. So then it made everything else bad, so we took it out of there. But we do sell it to individuals. We have 4 individuals that buy it every week, and then we sell it at the farmers markets. And a couple restaurants take it every once in a while when they need it, but not very often.
So, quick question. Did you ever try dialing back your sunflower ratio to see if that gotten the same results or?
No, because we were at 6, went down to, or we were at 5, went down to 4.5, and now we're up to 6. And
okay.
I'm happy with our yield right now. You know, we're at almost over 2 pounds on some trays, but easily 2 pounds.
Wow. Oh, speaking of growing yields, so we looked at the Gaia Green, and it was like
expensive.
It was like $50 for a small thing of it.
Yeah, but you use very little of it.
Well, I found something that was very comparable. I looked at the ingredients. It looked like it was the same, so I'm going to try that. I got that. and see how that goes. But how much are you putting in there, and are you putting it at the bottom of the tray when you water? What do you
No,
do?
don't. I do not recommend it. Put it at the bottom of the tray. We did experiments with that. I think I said that. But we just did the tray today of it when we harvested, and we did it on popcorn, and it was like half the yield versus putting it within the soil.
So like,
The bottom of it did not do well.
did you mix it with the main soil thing that you have, or do you put it on top once you put your soil in?
Is that a solution? So you're pre-diluting it and then like watering the tray with that, or
it's a powder, like most fertilizers. It's a powder.
Okay.
So we just take it, the mixture for whatever size bag we have, which we use the ProMix BX, which I know you guys can't.
Lucky.
Get. Yeah. So we just cut a little slit in the bag, and we put in the amount that goes into the bag. That's for the mixture. It's 1 teaspoon per liter or something like that. I can't remember the exact mixture. But we put that in there, and then shake the bag up with it in there. Just really rough it up a little bit. Tape that back corner back up and rough it up and get it all mixed in there, and then we have it mixed. And then we just put it within the soil, and it works great.
Okay.
Our peas we just did today, I was getting almost 30 ounces. One tray I got 30 ounces on peas.
Wow.
Nice.
So I'm a big believer in the Green, which I have some videos coming out as soon as we get done editing them about the difference.
What are the elements in there? Because it kind of sounds like it's some volcanic rock dust or something.
It's a 444, so it has. Here, let me just pull it up, so I'm not speaking.
So that's a similar procedure to what I use for the wheatgrass when I do azomite. It's also a powder.
Yeah.
And so I will mix, or I won't mix it into the soil. I'm doing half a teaspoon per tray, and I'll sprinkle that on top after I've tampered them.
I'm going to put the ingredients in the chat. I got them. Oh, well.
You have that pulled up?
So,
I did.
So this is the Green that we got. $36.95 is what it was for us, I guess.
All right, I just put it in the chat. Oh, it's over. Dang it.
You have now.
Okay, here.
What's over?
Ooh,
The character
insect stuff. Yay.
She's putting the derived from their website on the Green General Purpose.
So there's the derived from, feather meal, alfalfa meal, bone meal, blood meal, garlic rock dust,
there you go,
rock phosphor, fish bone,
Okay.
mineralized alpha, all the fancy words.
So it's a combination of powders. It's
Yeah.
essentially rock dust and other supplements in a powdered form. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'd endorse it.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm a big believer in it at this point.
Kelp meal, oyster flour.
So if everybody can read that or not, there's all the stuff.
Yeah, so I think this is basically a product that combines some of the things that you would buy individually, like rock dust and azomite, to get your trace elements, and the kelp to increase the nitrogen. And it's just all in one product that's very user friendly. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it came from another grower who was doing 1,000 trays a week, and he's a believer in it. So I tried it, did our experiments, side by trays, grow it with it, don't grow it with it, and there's a link if everybody wanted to use it to get it. That'd be beneficial.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a try.
So it's I'm a big believer in it. Definitely getting better grow out of it, and like the kale, growing the kale, it's much better red stem than normal. You get a slightly red stem. With the Green, you're getting a really red stem, so it looks even better.
Yeah, last week I didn't have a chance to drop in on the live show, either yours or Donnie's, but you guys were speaking later in the Discord about NASA research and microgreens in space.
Yep.
And I started reading some of those articles, and I was very interested in some of the research into different wavelengths and light colors, temperatures, etc. So I have a lot of different types of lights. I had some before I even started growing microgreens and different bulbs for fluorescence, but then I'm using the same LEDs from China that you guys are right now. Still have to remove my reflectors and do my tests with that because I was curious to find that you guys don't use the reflectors at all.
Yep.
But I'm wondering if maybe mixing some reds and blues in, like maybe a shelf here and there, so that there's mixed light being spread and bouncing off the walls and things like that, would help the nutritional content of the microgreens, boosting those beta carotenes and such.
What are you using for your lights?
So I'm using the Barinas mostly. All
But
my
what?
wraps.
Which one? Because I found out there's 3 different Barina colors for
Yeah.
the grow light.
Okay, so there's a white, yellow, and
Pink
purple.
or purple, yeah, black.
Purple, pink,
Purple.
yeah. I'm using the whites right now mostly.
Okay.
I do have some of the purples, and then I have my fluorescent fixtures, and I probably have 12 different kinds of bulbs for those, like different blooms, and yeah. But those are all mounted to the ceiling, and I'm not using the top shelf most of the time. So everything's under the whites for the most part.
Okay. Those are, I found out, I thought I had whites initially, but turns out I had the yellow, and I looked at the wavelength for each of them and realized, well, dang, I need to get the white. So I did buy the white. Now I've got one rack with the yellow and one with the white, and the stuff under the white is doing really good. Now, right now, I've just got my peas and my new sunflowers, so I don't know if that's just purely the seeds, but I have to think that the lights are doing some good too, because they had the spike of that white light for Barina was like a really good spike of the blue, about a middle spike for the green, and a decent spike for the red. So I mean, it hit all 3.
Yeah, so what I found interesting about the article mentioning the green right now is that the plants would see any perceivable benefit from green light, because in growing cannabis, which we probably want to stay away from that, but anyway, use green light so that you can go into the dark room when it's in the blackout phase, when you don't want to interrupt the light cycle, and that green light won't cause a photo change in the plants. But according to the NASA research, it was increasing nutrients within the microgreens and making them more available than they would have been otherwise. So that I found interesting. I think a mix of light is going to be the best at the end of the day, and so the white falls within the middle.
Right.
And so that's always going to be the best if you can't play around with it. But if you have the majority whites, and let's say one shelf in your entire grow, like up and down, is red, and one shelf is blue or green, that's going to give you more of a mixed spectrum. So everything should theoretically have a better light spectrum and therefore more complete nutrients.
Great. Gonna answer Veronica's question here real fast. Ever had a grocery store ask for bi-weekly delivery? I have one that's hinting at it, and really don't want to offer that. We do weekly delivery. One, we want to make sure the product gets rotated properly, fresh product in there every week, and just kind of bring that up to them and say, hey, we want to make sure everything's fresh every week, and deliver it weekly. And then you're more top of mind with them and everything else, and you have better product in there. So I would recommend, Veronica, to try and push that weekly delivery.
Excuse me, our dog is going crazy.
Oh, that's all right. That happens. So yeah, that's my suggestion, Veronica, is try to definitely push for that weekly delivery so you're in there with fresh products every week. Almost every produce vendor is delivering on a weekly basis, so try to do that.
And my input on that is don't spread yourself too thin, because you want to make the customer happy. So I was doing 4 delivery days a week, and I was able to push my customers to 2 days, and that gave me a lot of extra time to start working on expanding the business. And that meant that I wasn't delivering to 2 or 3 customers on one day. I could do 6, 7, 8
yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're not spreading yourself too thin. There's other things to do in the business besides harvest, plant, and delivery, so you got to save time for that stuff as well. So definitely, we try to keep everything on a weekly rotation as much as possible, and delivering every week to everybody. And you'll have the occasional home delivery people that are going to go vacation, skip a week, do stuff like that. But other than that, every week.
And that's not a big deal as long as you can onboard them when they get back.
Exactly. Well, we have recurring invoices that go out that we just will cancel that one for the week, and then the next one will just automatically go out to them after they get back. So it works out great.
With the bi-weekly, when you have like a spreadsheet, because we have one person who asked to do bi-weekly, so we're like, sure, we'll try that. Yeah. You just take them off that list for a week and then put them back. Like,
what I was doing when I had the spreadsheet, I would do 2 weeks at a time when I'm doing the spreadsheet, obviously because of planting. You need to be ahead of that. And I would only do, like, when we started doing a bi-weekly kind of for the same things. Some customers like, I can't eat that much. Can I go to bi-weekly? And it's hard to tell them, no, you got to do weekly because you're going to lose them.
Right.
So I recommend doing a bi-weekly. Don't do a monthly or anything like that, but do a bi-weekly. But we were inputting it every time I did every 2 weeks. I would input it, and it would highlight them a different color. So their whole bar would be yellow or purple or whatever color you want to use to indicate that that's a bi-weekly person, so that you know not to deliver to them or grow their stuff or everything like that.
Okay.
But I highly recommend seed leaf for that reason. And in our seed leaf review, there's a link now. Anybody wants to check that out. It is an affiliate link, and we appreciate the help with that if anybody wants to check that out. And it's much easier to keep track of now with the bi-weeklies. But everybody was always then on a bi-weekly, like it was either the first and the third, or do a second and the fourth week. Don't like this person a bi-weekly this week, this person a bi-weekly next week. I would recommend to keep them on everybody on the same weeks, all your bi-weeklies.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Otherwise, you start making things real complicated for yourself.
Yes. You'll get lost, like, who's getting it this week, who's not?
Yeah, I was there last week, and I had to go back and check my invoices and see, okay, I delivered to them last week. They don't need anything this week.
Oh, Brittany's back. Let me add her back. There we go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
You disappeared on us.
I was like, what? What did I do?
Did you hear what we both said about the bi-weeklies?
To keep that on the spreadsheet, do it 2 weeks at a time. And you were talking about seed leaf, but I had a question. So I have seed leaf, but what I don't like about it is I have to manually enter each customer and all their information. Have you found a Zap or something that can grab them and put them in there for
Not
me?
yet, but the great thing is once everything's in, it's in.
Yeah, you were asking about that earlier, like a Google form or something. So I'm having a similar issue right now because next weekend is going to be our first farmers market of the season. Mm-hmm. And because I have my birthing classes that conflict with that, I'm not going to be able to be there except for setup and breakdown.
Right.
So I've hired somebody. My nephew's going to be working the market, and my sister and brother-in-law are going to alternate helping out. The whole goal of the market for me is not to make a profit at the market. I could care less about that. It's to onboard subscription customers. So I need them to be able to get people signed up there on the spot that day, and I need to get like at least 5, but ideally 10 subscriptions each market day.
Right.
So I would very much like some kind of form that's easy for people to fill out.
Yeah.
And put their information, address, contact, delivery preference, Tuesday or Friday, and credit card information. And so they can start being automatically billed from that point on.
Do you have Square?
I have Square. I haven't found a workaround yet. So what I'm going to try and have the people that are going to be on site that day doing is go through Square, hit add a customer, hit create sale, and then schedule it for not that following Tuesday or Friday, because they're obviously going to get their first order free at the market that Saturday, but the following week. And then it's going to automatically bill them from then on. But that's going to be a matter of entering all that information incorrectly. The address, the credit card information, the contact info.
I got you. I found it out last night. Y'all ready for this? I got like the mic drop thing. It is called Jot Forms, and it integrates on the free plan with Square. I have it on our website right now. It will collect.
That down right now.
What?
I'm taking a note of that right now.
If you go just check out our website real quick. So it's dalrockmicrogreens.com and go to the order thing. And it's just a code. And I was able, like we were talking about, Mike, I was able to integrate it and put the code right into Squarespace. So I got around their little thing. Ha ha ha. So I try to keep me down. But on there, on that form, it says you can create your own. And I bet if you click on that, it'll take you right to Jot. But it integrates on the free plan, and it takes it pops that information that they put into those fields, name, address, phone number, did my store, my products, directly into Square. So, I mean,
awesome.
I was just like, oh my God. And now I think you can create up to 5 of these forms. So I created one for the signups for the farmers market that we'll just take and we'll put on our iPad. So that way they can enter, to get information. We tell them, we're not going to send you any spam, just a one-time email, because at the farmers market, people are, browsing and, oh, he's gone. Oh,
yeah,
crap.
he did. Yeah. Maybe he did something like you did.
Yeah. But, oh my gosh, no, Jot Forms, like I'm in love. I'm so happy.
Nice. I'll check that out. I haven't heard of them. So
take all of that. Well, we were using something called Cognito Forms, but I had to upgrade to integrate Square. And I'm like, no. So
yeah, and just going back to Seed Leaf, you have to manually enter their information, but it's one time.
Right.
And you don't necessarily have to put all their information in there. You just really need their name, because now the other information is nice to have.
That's
true. If you have it someplace else, it's not that important to put into Seed Leaf.
That's true.
So, but once you put the order in and it's recurring, it's there every week. You ain't got to do spreadsheet or anything like that. It's nice. Oh, Ian's is back. And he's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Apologize, guys.
It happens.
Surely you need a contact information more than just a name, so you can reach out to them. Because
exactly.
The problem that Brittany and I were having
we were just talking about Seed Leaf integration. That's totally different.
Okay. We were collecting we had an earlier conversation. We were collecting email addresses and phone numbers from people. At least that's what I was doing. And I got 80 plus throughout the course of the end of the farmers market season.
Nice.
I reached out to these people, and I had 0 onboarding. Not one.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So, I got a little discouraged, but I figured, okay, this is the name of the game. Even if people are very interested in the product, like, you have to hit them at the right time. Right. So if they're prepared to sign up and give you their email address and information right then and there for potential subscription service, they would probably be willing to onboard on the spot.
There you go.
So thinking is, like, let's just get it done right here, right now. Both of us are here and interested right now. It's out of the way. And I can come back on Monday after my farmer markets are done, plan on my seeding for the following week, get that planted, on the Tuesday or whatever, and then start delivering the following week.
Yep, there you go.
I agree, because we did the paper thing last year and got a few retention, but it was really low. So this year, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it with the laptop or iPad or something like that, tablet, and just have them sign up right there.
You can read the person's handwriting.
Exactly. That was my problem. I was like,
these emails out, and I got a lot of them.
Are in. Yeah, what is that?
Old return. And so I went, okay, they left a phone number, and I went to try and call them. and none of them answered. I left a
Well,
very
yeah.
nice voicemail. Please call me back. I'd like to get you onboarded. And nobody returned the call.
Well, and some of them I think maybe feel pressured to put information down.
Sure, but I
And it's more real if they put it in a computer, so they're going to be interested.
Yeah.
right.
Come on.
And I didn't want to pressure them further. So if on the spot you're prepared to actually onboard on a computer, then you're actually interested.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
not
our total
just
plan.
Giving me your email address with an E changed to a 3 or whatever,
Mhm.
and then walking away.
I'll write something down to appease you and move on.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because we had, we'd have 20 people sign up on a market, maybe 2 that would respond back and 1 that stayed with doing. So very low retention rate on that. So definitely got to change it up.
You don't want to be expending your efforts on things that aren't achieving the goal.
Right. For us, we've just done 2 of the Facebook ads, and they've been like beyond well. Like, I mean, it's just we have 12 orders in the last week from them.
Is that like $20 each?
$20 each. They've paid for themselves. We're going to run more. But I don't know if you've ever done that.
I'm so jealous of you guys. Congratulations on all of the new subscriptions.
Thank you.
I kind of drug my feet a little bit and didn't end up purchasing Curtis's course before the deadline. So I haven't ran any new Facebook ads since trying to do it myself, but that is something I would love to do. I would say that is a major win this week, though, Brittany, with all those new subscriptions. I haven't had a single week like that yet, so that's definitely something to be proud of.
Very much.
Thank you. Go on our website, go to our Facebook, find that ad, copy it, change it to your stuff, and run it, man. Like, I mean,
I'm gonna shoot Curtis a few bucks. He's earned it.
But yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's $1,000 a month in business that you got. That's going to be there every month, and you compound onto that, you're going to be doing $5,000-$6,000 a month in no time.
That's what we're wanting. I mean, I've been I left my job and took a huge leap. I mean, like a vault of faith. And, there were some days in there where I was just freaking out thinking, oh God, like Donnie said a couple of weeks back, we're just going to be an employee for the rest of our lives. And I was like, no. And then just with this stuff happening, with consulting with Donnie, consulting with Mike, or you're over there. Gosh, I hate these things reversed.
Over here.
Wherever you are on the screen. Like, and this Discord and the community and how everybody just wants to help each other.
There you
God
go.
Dang it. There. Over there.
You know why it does that, though, right? It shows you a mirrored reflection because that's the reflection you're used to seeing, so it's more visually pleasing to you.
I can move us around, though, to make it right for her.
Okay, there. We're like, this is
there you go. You just
the Brady Bunch over here. We'll all look down and look to the side. And
But yeah, no, who wants to be an employee for 40 years and retire unhappy?
Exactly.
And barely got any money. And
exactly.
I'd rather work hard for myself for the next 20 to 30 years than work hard for somebody else and have very little to show for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you set your goals, you set your success.
Yeah.
It's as much as you want to get out there and get it, you can make as much money as you want to make in this business.
And you're in Dallas area. You have a huge population to pull from. I mean, there's no reason why you can't, and there she went away again.
Well,
but the big cities definitely got a big opportunity.
100%. I mean, I'm so close to DC, and I reached out, and there weren't all that many microgreens farmers in the actual DC area. I got a few chefs that tried me out and got some free samples, but wasn't able to actually get into the city. And it is nearby, but it's not super convenient. So I'm just focusing on the suburbs right now.
Yeah. Get that mile radius first, 20 to 25 mile radius first, and then expand out. But
Yeah,
when you're
once I have 2 drivers, then I can look at trying to get into the city.
when you're by a huge metropolitan area, that's just unlimited income potential. That's what I was saying about you, Brittany, before you disappeared on us again. That
I pushed the wrong button again. I was like, dang it, what did I do? No.
That you're by Dallas, like you just got such a huge opportunity right there by you.
Except when it comes to Pro Mix, of course.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
It's the elephant in the room. You talking about, I've got my bag of Pro Mix and I just put it in there and shake the bag up. I'm like,
did you look at that Sunshine mix?
I don't know if Daniel, he had it on his list. I don't know if he did it.
Okay.
How did your sunflowers turn out, by the way?
The ones that our dog is terrified of thunderstorms and he has really bad breath, so he gets scared, he pants. So he's just, don't bite me, you little shit. God.
No problem, Veronica. You're welcome.
This dog, I swear, he's a grumpy old man. Sunflowers are much better with the Johnny seeds. So I'm excited. And we were talking about the Gaia Green. Because I don't have the Pro Mix, I basically am making my own Pro Mix with peat, perlite, and I bought some of the M fungi, because I can't say it, the mycorrhizal thingy.
The M word, I like it.
The M word, yes, the stuff, and I put that on there, and I think that's helping the yield too, for the roots and stuff.
Yeah. That's almost not needed. You probably would be able to get away with that especially if you use like a fertilizer, a Gaia Green or something like that.
Okay.
You probably could get away with not adding that, just because it's mainly made for longer grows, like you're doing starts,
right?
Like tomato starts or something like that. That's really good for that, but it's not with microgreens. 10 days, 14 days, it's not that big of a deal to have that. But if it's working for you, don't change it.
I was desperate, man.
But if it's working for you, stick with it.
Yep.
And do trials with it out and maybe see how it works.
Have y'all ever made like broccoli a 7-day crop?
Occasionally when we ran behind and we had to do it. It's shorter, but it makes it.
I forgot. And I realized 3 days after it, I was like, well, I got this, and Daniel comes in, he's like, where's the broccoli? I'm like, just like, oh my God.
Yeah, we're on YouTube, so be careful with that word.
That's why I mouthed it, but I was,
had to find a bleep button.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely. We've got, and like we say broccoli, we've been in that same situation, and like we need 6 trays. Okay, well let's do 9 because we know it's going to be less yield, and then that way we can make it up with the shorter leaves.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to hope. Do you think it's too late to put some of that new fertilizer on there?
I would recommend mixing it with the soil because we've tried to put it on top, and it kind of burned them a little bit being on top. So
I don't want to do that.
It definitely needs to be mixed in because it's too concentrated otherwise if you just sprinkle it on top.
Do you think in just this one case, any in the water underneath?
You could probably, if you're adding it while you're watering, you probably would be okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just desperate. I'm like, oh my God.
Mix it up with the water and then put it in there. But
Okay.
you're gonna end up with residue in between the 2 trays. So the reason why you want to put it in there is so it like soaks in like a sponge to all the soil, or whatever medium.
Yeah, probably put it in like some warm water for just the watering. And I only have to put it in once and then just resume regular watering. But yeah, no, y'all are being so kind and saying, oh, congratulations, you got all these orders, and I forget the dang broccoli. I was like, oh my God, how could I forget the broccoli?
If you had you got seed leaf, don't you? Didn't you try that trial or whatever?
We do, but I didn't want to put in all the names.
You could just put one in and like put whatever order they have.
That's true.
There's a way of doing it, but I'm a big proponent of seed leaf. I know I get an affiliate link and all that, but I was promoting it before I had an affiliate link because it's just so much better to keep it type of mind. Were you talking?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Sorry.
Your thing was vibrating, so I didn't. was like, boop, 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 boop.
I was zooming on. I was actually checking out your shirt. I was like, I think I have that shirt, but it's not the same one.
That's pretty generic polo. Yeah. Her little skull thing there.
Oh, that's Jack.
Jack, yeah.
Yeah. I got the dogs and the girlfriend over here. She just came down from her class. She's done with the master's program for tonight.
Nice.
But yeah, that seed leaf program, because there's times when I'm like, what are we supposed to be doing today?
Right?
You know, and like you just got to look at that and it tells you their task. So it's versus, you know, sometimes forgetting on the spreadsheet to put something in or rotate something over, or you know, something you didn't add in, you know, that you add a person in the spreadsheet, but you forgot to add the formula in to add them to it, and then you forget them.
Right.
So that's could be an issue.
Definitely. Oh, I was going to ask a question and it just went poof.
That happens.
Crud. I hate when that happens.
I guess Jens is probably leaving. I think that was his way of leaving there, I'm assuming.
Is that Oz?
That is. She said she made a mistake. Didn't mean to join, but she's on there.
Well, now you got to come on camera.
She says, "Oh, now she's been in the garden doing stuff, moving stuff. She don't think she looks good." Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I got the face when I looked at her. So of the kiss my ass face. But hey, if anybody else wants to join us live, obviously, there's a few more people on here. You know, you guys can join and ask questions or conversate with us about microgreens, gardening, chickens, anything.
I want some chickens.
Chickens are fun. You terrorize You can terrorize the girlfriend's boyfriend with them. That's fun. He's scared of the chickens, so.
Anything?
But I was really happy to hear that you got all the subscriptions. That's amazing. That's more than we've ever got.
I'm telling you, it's the Facebook thing. And then after the consult, when we were like, hey, we changed it and this wasn't working, you're just like, stop it. And then just start a new one back with what it was. And then we had taken it from the 20-mile radius down to the 10. And things just boom, 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 boom. We were getting blown up. And some of those too, when we go to the farmer's market, we're not big social media. Like, you know, y'all put a bunch of cool pictures and I wish I could be more like that. But we're like, we get halfway done. We're like, oh crap, we didn't take a picture. But
there's many times we forget.
But we've been trying to do like a little video. Hey, we're at the farmer's market, and just posting and putting that out there while the ad's running. So people see that. They have been sharing it. Like, this is probably as close to viral as I'll ever get, but it's pretty exciting. You know, when 20 people share your post, you're like, hey, I'm the next big thing. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what it feels like when you don't do anything like that. But
no, yeah, it is fun.
So I'm just trying to do that. But the Facebook ads, I can't say enough about them, paired with, and I really do think it's the actual, what is it?
Messenger.
The Messenger, but the way that guy did the Curtis Stone, that marketing, the way it's laid out, I think that's had a ton to do with it. And Oz made a really good point, which is, you know, having that messenger button, like that's the goal. Message us. Here's the message button. They can talk to us. Yeah. And we've been quickly responding back and forth with them. And then pretty much right after that, we get the order form.
And fishing in the smaller ponds. Fish in the pond before you go to the ocean to fish.
Yes.
And get that close radius and everything else makes a big difference as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys, I got to get off for the night. But good luck with the show, and I'll catch up later.
All right, Jens, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jens.
Take care, y'all. Bye.
And Ricky, yes, we are doing the Microgreens health benefits tomorrow as part of our live, the teaching before. Going to go over the health benefits, as was voted on by everybody in the chat. Yes, last week we gave them 4 options, and that's what everybody voted on. So not everybody, 50%. So it was the winner. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. That we're going to shrink that down to being hopefully about 15 minutes because it could easily be a 45-minute presentation.
I stopped right that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's there she goes again. I think she keeps hitting the wrong button. But yes, Brittany running that ad on Facebook and getting 12 new subscriptions in a week is amazing. So if you guys nobody's checked that out yet, that's through the Curtis Stone program that has that. But you can also check out her Facebook at Dalrock Microgreens that has the ad probably running right now.
It just finished, but
finished. Okay.
The post is there.
The post is there, so you can look at it, and she won't get charged any money for it from Facebook. So good time to go look at it and see what she ran and how she's successful with it. So
yeah,
Somebody's here.
that's not us.
That's me. Sorry.
Obviously.
I don't know who's here.
It's your son's.
Oh, kids coming back. I didn't know they left.
Teenagers' food.
So Brittany, got anything else? Like, since Oz isn't going to come on and talk to us.
Oh gosh. Those were the big things. I haven't even looked at what the rate of this new fertilizer on. It's got about half of the things that were on the Gaia Green.
Yeah.
Like not the fancy stuff, but the basic stuff. And you mix, okay, we've already talked about this. Never mind.
Mix
So
it in
no,
with
I
the
don't
soil.
have anything new.
Mix it in with the soil. Yes. Mix it in with the soil. Bring glitch. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But yeah,
How's the storms? You guys pass?
it's
Still thundering?
passing. Yeah, there's a couple waves of them. I'm actually looking right now at we've got what the heck is that thing called? Radar up on the screen. Yeah. And I mean, it's been thundering and stuff. And aside from the smelly breath dog panting over here and being scared, like, I mean, seriously, like right over in your face. You're like, go away.
Of course, right in the face,
But he's scared,
Yeah.
Well, but other than that, no, I am looking forward to the show tomorrow. We will be there tomorrow. So
sounds good.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and jump off here if nobody has any questions or wants to come on. And we definitely will see everybody tomorrow on Tuesday. We will be back on there. And
Sounds
we will
good.
see everybody then.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
See ya.
Thanks, Roz.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, for everybody else that's still on here, I thank you guys very much for joining us on this impromptu stream on a Monday night. Normally we're on with Donnie Greens and going on his show and talking to him, chatting on the Facebook area there, so you can check that out too in Microgreen support group. And we will see you guys all tomorrow at 7 o'clock for our normal live show, and we'll be going over the Microgreens health benefits, and we will see you then. Have a good night. That's not Dairy Queen. I want some